arithmetic operators separately. Now let's try to use all the arithmetic operators in one program so that we can make a small calculator. Now program, let's try to put command program for using all the arithmetic operators. Clear? So let's try to include IOStream and using standard namespace. Okay, and then we use this main operator. So let's try to declare variables first. As I told you, that what we are going to do here, we are going to declare two variables for storing values, and then different other variables for storing the results. So let's try to declare variable integer a, integer b, and let's try to assign value to these variables. Now first of all, we need to declare all the variables. So this is for sum, okay, this is for subtraction, for storing the subtraction of the value after subtracting one value from another, and this is for the multiplication. The result will be stored in mul operator, and this is for the division, and this is for the remainder. Okay, so what we did here, we declared all the variables, all the necessary variables. Now a is used for, or let's try to write declare with the more explanatory variable name. So number 1 and number 2, but these are the first two numbers, and then these are the variables which are going to store the result. Fine. So let's try to use these variables. Sum equal to a, number 1 plus number 2. Now this is our first arithmetic operator, and then we need to use sub. Okay, sub for storing when we subtract one value from another value, or one number from another number. Okay, and then we need to use mul variable number 1 multiplied by number 2. Okay, and then number 1 we need to use division. Okay, number 2, and then we need to use the remainder. So number 1 we need to use this thing, number 2. Okay, now let's try to print the result here. So we can write a simple statement: the addition of number 1, the addition of number 1, we need to use this operator. Number 2 equal to whatever the let's try to we forgot to store value in these variables, so we need to assign the values in these variables as well. And number 1, we're going to store 25, and in number 2 we're going to store in number 2 we're going to store 5. Clear? So we stored values in these variables. Now let's try to print the result here. So we need to use this operator, the manipulator, inline manipulator, in order to print the value in the next line. So let's try to copy this code. Do not copy it. Okay, you need to practice it. Fine, I'm just copying the code for for saving time. And this is so now we are going to make slight changes here. Number one, so this will be used for the addition, and this one is used for the subtraction. Okay, so instead of sum we need to write sub. Similarly, this is used for the multiplication. So what we need to do is we need to change this into mul, and then this to division, and also we need to change this sign, and this for the this one for the remainder. So um, rem variable. Now let's try to print the result on the screen in order to show, but before showing the result we need to uh, using all operators, using op. Now let's try to, we save the program, let's try to compile the program. Okay, this should be, there is a slight error, and the error is it should be number 2. Okay, let's try to run this program. Oh, there is another error, and this should be number 2, not number, because we declared the number 2 variables. So let's try to run this code and see the result. Now you can see this is the complete program. The addition of 25 plus 5, that's equal to 30. That oh, we forgot to change these things. Okay, the addition. Let me bring changes here. The addition of, then this should be the subtraction of, and this should be the multiplication of, and this should be the division. This should be the remainder. So now let's try to run this program again and see. Now you can see the everything is changed here. So the addition of 25 plus 5, that's equal to 30. The subtraction of 25 minus 5, that is equal to 20. The multiplication of 25 into 5, it is equal to 125. And the division of 25 by 5, that's equal to 5. So we get 5 here, and the remainder, because it is exactly divisible by 5, that's why we get the value 0 as a remainder. So I hope that you like this video. Thank you very much.